Hello and good morning, Culers. It is time to wake up and Barca. Live Barcelona news coming at you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the Undefeated channel. Good morning to you all. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Europa League tie, round of 16, Barcelona hosting Galatasaray. We're going to be going over lineups, predictions, and to help us talk about the match, we've got our good friend Pablo Woolls-Blanco joining us in just a few minutes. He's going to be coming in over a Zoom call. We're going to talk about lineups, predictions, what's going on with the contract renewals at Barcelona. We'll get his thoughts on Andreas Christensen. Pablo, of course, a big Chelsea fan, so he's got some experience that he can share with us. All that's coming up on today's episode. If you are just finding us for the first time, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you can be part of the conversation while we catch up on the news. We have a little bit of caffeine and have some conversation with Culers from around the world. Of course, we are also here for all the live Barcelona matches, including this upcoming Europa League tie. That's going to be Thursday, 3 p.m. We're going to do a live watch along. I'll do the commentary. You participate in the chat, again, with Culers from around the world as we cheer on the Blaugrana. But today's episode is all about the match preview featuring Pablo Woolls-Blanco. Let's go ahead and kick things off the right way, my friends.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuning in to the undefeated Mustache John.
All right. Hello and good morning to you all. Like I said, today's episode is all about a match preview for Barcelona hosting Galatasaray, round of 16. And we do have the wonderful Pablo Woolls-Blanco on cue. He's going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes. So, folks, the Stash Squad, you've got a big job to do today. You all need to make sure that my audio isn't screwed up during the live interview with Pablo. Like I said, I'm going to be bringing him on in just a couple of minutes. It's going to be a Zoom call. And for those of you that have been around for a while, been hanging out, that have been regulars on the Stash Squad here on the Undefeated channel, you know that I've had a botched interview in the past where I didn't capture any of the audio on the other person's end. So what's going to happen in just a minute? No, it was turned off, but when you said it, I was like, did I turn it off? And I hit the button. Reset it back to 0. We'll figure it out. That was too funny. That was like that scene in The Matrix where Neo goes to meet the Oracle, and the Oracle's like, hey, don't worry about that vase. And he's like, what vase? And then he turns and knocks it over. And she says, now what's going to get you is if I never told you to watch out for the vase or don't worry about the vase, would you have ever knocked it over in the first place? Anyway, I digress. Folks, when I switch over to the call with Pablo, what we need is my audio and his audio working. I'm a little bit concerned that my audio is going to get duplicated and there's going to be an echo. So what's going to happen is I'm going to change scenes. I'm going to bring on Pablo, and I'm going to leave the chat open for just a minute. You all are going to give me thumbs up showing me that the audio is good for myself and for Pablo, and then we'll continue on the interview, okay? So let me say my good mornings to everybody, and then we're going to get the interview going. I'm going to have to ignore the chat for a little bit while the interview is going on. If there's time at the end, we'll turn to the chat. We'll see if we can get some questions answered by Pablo. But in the meantime, good morning, Ayush. Good morning, Kudis. How you guys doing? I'm going to really lean on you guys to keep folks in order today. Brown's Gratification, hello, hello. Austin, hello, sir. Thushar, welcome, welcome. If I missed you, I apologize. I promise we're going to get caught up on the chat before I leave. But first, let me get things set up because we have Pablo waiting in the wings here. So give me just a moment to queue everything up. Let me jump into this meeting here. Okay, so I've got Pablo waiting in the wings here. Pablo, you mind giving me a thumbs up if you can hear me, buddy?
I can hear you.
Okay, very good, very good. Pablo can hear me. I think we are ready. I'm going to do this right here. Okay, real quick, let me check in with the chat one more time. Does my microphone sound good? I've now, I think, hit the button that needs to be hit for everything to be good. So Pablo is on, waiting. I'm going to bring him on screen in just a moment. Let me get a thumbs up from the chat. that the audio is still sounding good and that it's not echoey or crazy, because I can change it if need be, but we should be okay. Waiting confirmation from the chat. Pending. Okay, we got the thumbs up. We are good to go. Folks, again, welcome and good morning. We are doing a live match preview prediction for Barcelona hosting Galatasaray. And with me, as promised, the famous Pablo Woolls-Blanco. All right, Pablo, you are live. Why don't you say hello to the Stash Squad?
Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Thank you so much for having me back on, John. I hope my audio is all working fine. And yeah, I hope everyone is good. Good morning, Culers. And yeah, we've got a lot to talk about today, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, indeed. Got a lot to talk about. Everything looks good on the audio side. So, Pablo, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me again. Before we get into things, how's life? How you been, brother?
Yeah, busy. University and stuff, things going on. So yeah, 100 miles an hour sometimes. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, Barca have been going well, so Barcelona are getting back up. So that brings us a bit more joy into our lives. But yeah, no, busy, man. How about you? How are you doing? You all good?
All good. Spring is right around the corner, starting to get some more sunshine. The weather needs to warm up a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
But for me, that's always a turning point in the year. Spring comes around, better weather, get some more time outside. That's big for me. But like you said, just tickled by Barcelona right now. I was not expecting this fast of a turnaround. I think the last time we talked, it was, hey, we're seeing some signs of optimism here from Xavi. Boy, maybe it'll happen faster. And I don't think in that conversation we even talked about how quickly things might improve. So how surprised are you at the quick turnaround? I know we're not there yet, but how surprised are you so far?
Yeah, no, you're right. It's interesting you brought that up, because I remember I was actually looking back at some of our old stuff, and I think we did one in December and then one in January.
Yeah.
And kind of both times it was similar. Definitely in December we were like, we know we're not there yet. Even January though, it was kind of similar. We felt as if we went into games and we thought we're improving, but when it really gets to it, we're not going to win the big games. And when of late we are actually winning the big games. We've got some massive results. The team is coming together. I think Xavi's implemented his style. Everyone seems to be on the same page, and the new signings have been brilliant. So it's all coming up, very nicely for Barcelona right now. It's been a really impressive month, if you like, really. And Barca are in a good spot. Like you said, we're not there, and it's not time to go unbelievably crazy, but Barca fans have got a lot to be happy about right now. That is a fact, and we are doing well. Like I said, the team's progressing really nicely. I think Xavi, the board, they should all be very happy. And to be honest, things are looking very positive for Barcelona. They've got a lot of bright young players. We are looking strong in matches. I think, if anything, the defense just needs tightening up. But really, it's going very well for Barca. That's the bottom line. Very well right now. And, long may it continue, because there are big games coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned the positivity around the grounds right now. Xavi and Laporta, after matches, are standing outside the locker room or just inside. Hugs, high fives, celebration, congratulating the players. If you watch videos, I'm sure you have, of the training exercises, it's all fun and games. It's lighthearted. That positivity, like you said, I think is back at the camp now. Some of that is Xavi. Some of that you got to credit to Dani Alves just being just being there. If you follow him on Instagram, good crazy. That's a lot. So speaking of Dani, right, and the change that we've seen in Barcelona, we got the January signings that have come in. Aubameyang, Adama, Ferran, Dani. Who's been most impressive so far out of that January group that has joined us?
It's so difficult, because they've all got their own story. I won't dodge the question. I'm going to pick one, but it is so difficult because they've all, in different ways, added something to the team, and it's really, really hard to say. But I think all right, I'll praise all of them. Dani Alves has brought his own thing to the team. Off the pitch, I think we've seen it in the locker room, like you were saying. He's been crucial. And actually, on the pitch, he surprised me a bit. I do think in the last game against Elche, he actually struggled a bit. And I think that's why it's still important we play Des. So, look, Dani Alves, I think he just needs to gain some rhythm back. That's natural. Who else we've got? We've got Adama Traore, who is the guy who I'm going to pick. I think Adama has surprised me the most with how explosive he's been. Obviously, we know how Adama plays, but he's added end product to his game. And he's a demon on the right-hand side. It's really unplayable sometimes. It's really something to watch. I know people go on about his physique and stuff, and it's incredible. It really is. It's very, very damaging for the opponent. It's close to impossible to defend against sometimes. When you've got someone like that in your team, it just changes everything. And I think it has changed everything for Barcelona. I really do. So I'm going to pick Adama because I just think he's been so standout and so impressive. But like I said, Dani Alves has been great. Ferran Torres is actually one of my favourite footballers, full stop. So I'm so happy we've signed him. And I actually think he is improving the team a lot. So I'm really happy with his involvement. And I think probably out of the four, he'll go on to be the best. And then Aubameyang, who I was almost a little bit sceptical about because of the way he left Arsenal. There were some issues there. But what I always knew about Aubameyang is that he scores goals. He always scored goals for Arsenal in the Premier League, and he's come to Barcelona and he's done the same thing. So I don't think we can say much bad about any of them, but I am going to answer the question and I will pick Adama.
That's awesome. Good for you for having the courage to put your stake down on one player. I'm with you, though, and that is a tough question. I had similar concerns, I think, with Aubameyang coming in. The attitude, wasn't sure if the effort was going to be there, but his high press and the effort that he's putting in while he's on the pitch, I got no complaints. Same with Adama. I mean, I knew the reputation. I'd seen Wolves games. I watched plenty of Premier League. Did not know that he had the skill on the ball, the tricks and the flicks. Wasn't expecting that. And I really appreciate, I think, more than his physicality, his mindset. He's keeping it simple. Yes, he'll do some rollovers, some step overs, but his mindset is get a yard of space, get the cross in. Get a yard of space, get the cross in. And just, that's what you need. I'm thinking back to some of our most successful years when we didn't have a Lionel Messi at every position. We had those role players. We had a Pedro. We had a Eider Gudjohnsen. We had those type of players that fill in those gaps sometimes, and more of that support system. So loving what I'm seeing from Adama. Pleasantly surprised. Like I said, I wasn't expecting. I think. Well, let me jump over to Ferran Torres because I know he's one of your favorite players. I think Barcelona fans are expecting too much too fast. I think that he's having an impact. I think that he got off to a little bit of a rough start in that first Napoli game. He had like 4 or 5 clear misses. But the fact that he's getting himself in those positions, the fact that he's having those opportunities, I think the finishing is going to come, right? That's all that's really missing right now. I like the positioning, the passing, the ball control. That's all there for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's really important what you said about players having different roles, and that's exactly what it is. I think Barca fans just need to understand that kind of everyone has a different role. Look, with Adama, his role is stay very wide on the right-hand side. We get the ball to him, you beat your man, you take players out of the game, and then you open up spaces for other ones with good balls into the box. With Ferran Torres, I think people need to accept Ferran Torres isn't going to score 30 goals a season. Look, maybe once in his career he will when he's 27 or something, but I'm really not expecting that from Ferran. Ferran Torres will miss chances. He's not Lewandowski. He's not someone who, when he gets the ball in front of goal, you're thinking, no chance of that being missed. It will be missed. Even in the Elche game, when he made a big impact, he missed, I think, 2 or 3 chances in the second half. Ferran Torres is going to miss chances. What Ferran Torres will also do, though, is provide a lot to Barcelona. He's going to get a lot of goals, a lot of assists in this team, and he will be a really important player. Like you said, that's those Pedros, the David Villas, big players for the club. They don't all have to be Messi's, and I think obviously that's why Barcelona are going for a striker in the summer, but also I kind of like the way we've got players chipping in from elsewhere. And look, I think what people have got to understand, like you were saying, is everyone has different roles. Adama Traore is another one. I think Adama will actually rarely even reach double figures for goals. He's just not a scorer. He hasn't scored yet for Barca, has he? I don't think, but he's been so damn good. And that's the way it is. That is the way it is. Aubameyang scored 5, I think. So everyone's got a different role in the team, and that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Final point on Ferran. I've said it on stream before. I love his mentality. The match with Napoli, the first leg where it was 1-1, he scored the penalty. He had missed 3 or 4 shots, and the pressure was on him, and he could have hidden in the shadows, but he said, no, give me that ball. I want the penalty. I'm going to score this. Same thing against Elche. He scores the equalizer. There's no running to the corner flag and celebrating. There's, hey, we just leveled. Give me the ball. Get it back on the center spot. Let's reset. We got work to do. So love the mentality from Ferran Torres, and I'm with you. I'm in support of him being a key player for that future team.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Speaking of our team, Pablo, we got to talk starting 11 for Galatasaray. We've got, who's out right now? Ansu's out.
Yep.
Umtiti, of course, is out. Dani Alves is unavailable.
Yep.
But outside of that, I think we got our full squad available to us. So
Ooh, yeah, we
let's
do,
start
yeah.
with a back four. Who you got?
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to mention, I thought Nico was suspended, but I think that's actually for La Liga, isn't it? So, yeah, I think you're right. Or Gavi may be out, though. Gavi may be suspended for Galatasaray. I don't know if that's confirmed. Apparently, he picked up a late card against Napoli.
Oh, I may have missed that. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Maybe they can confirm that for us.
Let us know, guys. I thought Nico was out stupidly there, but I think Nico's out for Osasuna on Sunday. But yeah, like you just said, Dani Alves is out. So, back line, Ter Stegen will start in goal. Dest will start a right back, which is nice, I think. I think actually Dest is slowly becoming number one again, which is really positive. I know you're a big fan of Dest, and we spoke about Dest before, so
yeah.
Dest is going well right now.
Yep.
Centre back is actually quite interesting because I wonder if Xavi will rotate. I think left back will be Jordi Alba, but centre back. Look, I'm going to go easy and say Piqué and Araujo, but would this be a chance for Xavi to get Eric Garcia in there? Do you think maybe?
I like that idea actually. I really do. I'm trying to look at this as big picture leading up to El Clasico. I know that might be poor strategy and we need to not look past Galatasaray, but for me, the 2 legs against Galatasaray and then the match against Osasuna, that's our last opportunity to figure out what is that go-to 11 and
you're right.
Can we get them fully fit, playing their best football going into that El Clasico match. So for me, I think we go with our starters for Galatasaray, meaning Piqué, Araujo, Alba, and right now Dest. Obviously, Danny's unavailable, but I'm with you on Dest winning that spot back. And then we rest against Osasuna maybe, bring them back for the second leg against Galatasaray, knowing that the matches against Galatasaray should be easier matches.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so I think we agree on the defense. And I see in the chat Gavi is suspended for the upcoming match, so I'm glad you remembered that. So then in the midfield then, we still have plenty of options. What are you going with?
We do, and you're right about what lineup we go for. I'm kind of with the way of going quite strong in Europa League, actually. I feel like we should really go for it, but I think Xavi does like to rotate here and there, but I agree that we got Galatasaray, Osasuna, Galatasaray. We've got to get a full 11 really ready for Real Madrid. So how should we line up for this one? Look, I think the easy way out is maybe Busquets, De Jong and Pedri. That sounds obvious, doesn't it? I think the other option you could put in there is Nico. I don't know who for. Maybe for De Jong, maybe for Busquets, either one of those. But I wouldn't be surprised if Xavi just went Busquets, De Jong and Pedri. Having said that, Nico is suspended for the weekend, so that could play into his thinking. I don't think Ricky will start. Gavi can't start. And I don't think he'll go Nico, De Jong and Busquets. It's almost a little too defensive, if you like. I think we want Pedri as kind of like the link to attack. So maybe Busquets, De Jong, Pedri, and if not, Nico in there somewhere.
I like the idea of Nico being in there, especially being unavailable for La Liga. I want to say the first leg, Xavi might go more with the strong team.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we get, we'll get the predictions, but I'm hoping Barcelona blow Galatasaray out of the water.
Yeah.
And we don't even have to worry about the second leg. That's my hope. So, with that mindset, I'm gonna go Busquets, Pedri, Nico.
Yeah. Okay.
Just to get that rotation going, but I think De Jong will still get 45 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, and possibly come on for Busquets because he's only rested, I think, 1 game so far this year, something like that. So, so I think Nico, Pedri, Busquets, I think that gets us through.
I agree. Nice. Yeah. Nice.
Okay. So now maybe the toughest selection?
Yeah.
The front three. Who knew we were going to have this many options?
Yeah. I know. It's crazy. I remember when Xavi first came in, we were picking players from the B team. We were picking players from midfield. And now we've got like 8 or 9 options up there. It's crazy. So hard to predict. But what I'm going to go for is this. I think it's guaranteed Ferran Torres will start. That makes it easy for us. I think it's close to guaranteed Adama will start because he didn't start against Elche. Neither did Ferran. So I think we've got the wingers sorted. Then it's down to number 9. And I think he'll go for Memphis Depay. I really do. I think it gives us a chance to maybe bring Memphis to the left and Ferran Torres up front. Memphis has scored 2 and 2 off the bench now since he's come back from injury. Luke de Jong's an option, of course. And I think Aubameyang will be rested. And unless I'm missing anyone else, I think that's almost it. Look, I think Dembele won't start this one because he played against Elche on the weekend. Like I said, Adama and Ferran will come in, and then I put Memphis up front. So I think that's the front three we could see tomorrow.
I'm okay with that. So you're going Memphis left, Ferran striker, Adama on the right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. I love the idea of giving Memphis some time. I think people kind of have a short memory of how Memphis started the season with no other attacking options around him, playing under Ronald Koeman, and he performed quite well. So with all those cards stacked against him, I would love to see what Memphis can do now under Xavi ball with the attacking options he has around him. I think that's very exciting. So good to see him come back. I'm also okay with Aubameyang getting a little bit of a rest. He's had a good run of games, but we've got Osasuna coming up on the weekend. Maybe he starts there.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to see Luke de Jong get a start, but I also know that as soon as he gets a start and doesn't get a goal, the criticism comes in, the love goes away, Luke the GOAT is no more. So I'd almost rather just keep him up on a pedestal and keep him there for, last 10 minutes of a match when we just need a goal to be headed in. That's, I think, Luke de Jong's best role there. So I'm cool with that. All right, let's talk Dembele. We'll talk Dembele. I have such mixed feelings about this, Pablo. Such mixed feelings because for 4.5, almost 5 years now, I've sat here and said, just wait. He's one of the best in the world. He can be Neymar, Mbappe type level. Just get through this injury. Okay, another injury. Get through this injury. And then he finally comes back. He's healthy for a spurt of time, and it's the contract issues. The perception is that Dembele is being selfish with his demands.
Yeah.
We're not in his shoes. We're not there for the conversations. I know for me, I'm just kind of frustrated and disappointed because I want to love him. I want to support him. I want him to stay. But with that attitude, I'm not so sure anymore. What are your thoughts, Pablo?
Yeah, it is such a difficult one to talk about, actually. And it's interesting to hear your thoughts on it because I'm always really interested to hear what Barca fans think about Dembele and the whole situation, to be honest. I mean, look, do I think Dembele is a dangerous player? Yes. Do I think he's different to anyone we have in the squad? Yes. But like you said, Dembele's career has been at Barcelona just so tough, so up and down. And like when it looks like he's getting started, an injury will crop up. And now, when now it felt like he had a consistent spot in the team. Everything was quite quiet around Dembele, and I liked that. Around December time, and then the contract hit. And you're right, it's just never ending with Dembele. He phased out the team now for ages. The stuff with his agent, it just all feels so uncomfortable with Dembele at Barcelona. It really does. And I can't see Moussa Sissoko, his agent, initiating contract talks with Barcelona in the summer. So I think Dembele will be off on a free. What do I think about him? I think he's a good player, Dembele. I do think he could have offered more. I think Dembele still needs to find that consistency in his game. And I think if Barcelona lose him, it wouldn't quite be the end of the world or a disaster like some people say, but it would leave us without a different option in our attack. I really do feel that, and I think a signing could be required actually to cover his gap because we've got other wingers, but they're actually different style of wingers. Like I think people see Adama and Dembele and they think they're quick down the right-hand side, but they're actually quite different the way they play. Adama is far more direct. Dembele can kind of come inside and craft a pass and go one way or the other. Adama he's not route one, but he's you almost know what you're getting with Adama, and that's, I suppose, what we love about him so much. But like I said, Dembele's a different player, and that's what people always give him. So I think Barca will be losing something with Dembele, but I think his story is slowly coming to an end. I really do, and it's just been too turbulent, too up and down, and it has been a shame to see.
Yeah, turbulent is the way to put it. It's just it's unnecessary drama. You know what I mean? I've been holding off on cursing him because there's still that sliver that maybe both parties, find an agreement at the end of the summer. Maybe he goes looking elsewhere and realizes nobody's going to pay me that money. Maybe I do stay at Barcelona. He'd have to make a pretty big gesture, I think, to the Barcelona community for folks to forgive him for that. So I think we're in agreement there. Slightly disappointing, a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world if he leaves. If he stays, I think he still can have an impact at Barcelona, but it's got to be for a reasonable contract.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so before we get too far away from Galatasaray, what's your prediction for this first leg?
You know what? I'm going to go strong again. I actually think Galatasaray. Well, I'm not going to act as if I've watched them a lot this season, but from what I've seen from their standings, Galatasaray are having quite a weak season, actually. So I'm going to go Barcelona 3-0. I honestly think Barcelona can have quite a strong first leg here. I really do. I think actually even the first leg against Napoli, for example, could have been 3-0 Barcelona. It really could have been. I thought 1-0 was harsh. And I remember leaving that game thinking, God damn it, we could be heading out here because now we've got to go to Napoli. But they showed up and they dominated Napoli. So if Barca play like they know they can, and with the lineup we've been saying, Ferran, Adama, Memphis, you got all the options off the bench, Dembele, Aubameyang, Luke de Jong. We just feel so dangerous right now. We really do feel like a dangerous team. You've got Dest and Alban as the fullbacks. You've got options in midfield, Pedri and de Jong. Barca are strong. It's like we said right at the start of the live. Barca are looking strong. And I think this could be, and actually should be, a comfortable Barca win. I really do feel that. I'm going 3-0 Barcelona.
Love it. I'm feeling just as confident, if not more confident. I'm trying to check myself because I don't want to have to do a reaction of Barcelona losing, and I got a clip in me going, no, we're gonna win 4-0, 5-0. I don't want to have to do that, but I'm gonna say Barcelona win this one 4-0.
Yeah.
I also looked at the table for the Turkish league. Haven't seen Galatasaray play this year, but they're down in like 13th. I know it doesn't translate domestic league to European competition. I think I saw Galatasaray unbeaten in their last 10 in European competition.
Yeah,
but that's not high level. They're not playing in Champions League. You know what I'm saying? So that's a bit of a misleading stat. I'm going Barcelona 4-0 on this one.
Yeah.
Easy victory. And we get some subs off the bench. Maybe we see a Luke de Jong. Maybe we see a Ricky Puig, somebody like that. Those folks that haven't quite gotten the playing time that they would like. Maybe a Goatwait. He was benched over the weekend, you know what I mean? So maybe he needs a little pick-me-up. Maybe he gets some time. Who knows? But I'm glad to see that we're both feeling optimistic, feeling good going into that match. Hopefully won't be curse of the commentator, knock on wood, and we won't be having egg on our face after that first leg. All right, good stuff, man. So a couple more things to talk about. I want to talk about Araujo and Gavi renewals and maybe some summer priorities, but I think we can start with the news around Andreas Christensen.
Yeah.
You're also a Chelsea guy. So talk to me about your perspective and what can Barcelona hope to see from Andreas?
Yeah, well, in short, really positive things with Andreas Christensen. Look, Christensen's Chelsea career has actually been a bit odd. He had a lot of loan spells at the start of it. He did technically come through the academy. Chelsea bought him when he was quite young and kind of put him into the Cobham Academy. And then Christensen broke into the first team, really. He had some debuts with Mourinho and then broken around Antonio Conte's time. But for about 4 years, Christensen was always considered just quite weak, an okay centre-back. Almost a bit like what Eric Garcia is now at Barcelona. He's okay some games. He might be strong in others. But most of the time, we can't really properly rely on this guy. Someone with potential, but not quite there. Then Thomas Tuchel came in. And in my opinion, Christensen's developed into a really good centre-back. I really do feel that. It's not that he's just completely changed. He's still actually quite a lean and thin guy, Christensen. He's quite quick across the ground. He's not a monster. He's not like an Araujo or a Rudiger, for example, who's going to really, force you out of the way. Yeah. But Christensen's developed into a very impressive centre-back. People who give Christensen a lot of stick still. I think Chelsea fans are quite upset that the way he's dealt with the contract situation, the way he's leaving now, I think that's kind of tainting their view on him. I've got to be honest, I've been so impressed with Christensen over the last 14 months for Chelsea. I really have been. And I think Barcelona are getting a very good centre-back. I'm really happy he's going there so that I don't almost lose him entirely, And I think he's been so good. He came on in the Champions League final. He was supreme. He's played big games, massive games for Chelsea at centre-back, and he's won big titles for them. Very good. What I'd say about Christensen is, like I said, quick across the ground. He's still strong enough in the air. The only, I think, thing people say about him is that he's not quite tough enough. I think it has improved in recent times. He anticipates the game really well. And I was actually thinking about it the other day. He suits Barcelona really well as a centre-back. So, look, I'm giving him a lot of praise there, but I think he's been so good over the last 14 months for Tuchel. I really do think that. And I think it's a great pickup for free. Why not? And I think even if it wasn't for free, this is a good player.
Yeah, no, I appreciate those thoughts. I've seen him sparingly because I'll tune into Chelsea, of course, to watch Pulisic from time to time. So I'm more focused on the attacking end of the pitch. But I've been impressed. I think he's composed on the ball. Yeah. His passing ability, switching sides, that, of course, reminds me of the Barcelona style of play. Yeah. Adama, Dembele, Memphis, whoever's out there crossing across the pitch there. So I'm excited for him to come in. I think it does give us a a couple too many options, especially if we bring in Azpilicueta. So
Yeah.
people are going to be leaving Barcelona. I mean, Umtiti, definitely out. Next likely would be Langley, maybe. Is Mingueza going to be here next season?
Yeah, exactly. There's a massive overbooking in defence of Barcelona. And I think I said this morning, sorry, something has to give for Barcelona.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on that one. I think Umtiti gone. Langley probably gone.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Mingueza loan. I know that Xavi's kind of cooled on his expectations and using him, but for me, I'm not ready to give up on it. I would go out on loan with that, but we actually have bigger problems before we get to that. Araujo and Gavi contracts, right? They're both expiring in June of 23, I believe.
Yeah.
Neither has renewed. Apparently, the news coming out that I saw last night and this morning is that the first offer to Araujo has been declined, and it was pretty low from the numbers that we're seeing. So talk to me about what's going on with those contract renewals. Where should Barcelona be putting our focus right now? Summer signings or contract renewals?
Well, look, it's hard to say, and it does have to be a bit of both. I can't say to Barcelona, just forget about Christensen and Kessie and Mazraoui and Azpilicueta, but Barcelona have also got to really, recalibrate their thoughts and think, what are we doing here? I'm sure Barcelona are offering Kessie and Christensen contracts of 5 or 6 million a year, which isn't a massive amount. It's quite a fair contract, to be fair, especially in modern football compared to the contracts Bartomeu used to offer, which were just extortionate. That's fine. But what Barcelona can't be doing then is turning to Araujo and saying, have 3 million, mate. Just take 3 million. That cannot happen. And look, it's not just Barcelona. Loads of clubs do it. Even Chelsea are actually kind of doing it with Rudiger right now. And it's kind of why we're having a standoff. Clubs just don't want to give too much money to players who they think they can get for less. They just try and squeeze every last drop out of them. And sometimes the player can turn around and say, you know what, forget this. I've got an 8 million offer here from the Premier League. You're only giving me 3 million. I'm performing as the best defender of the club for the last 12 months, really. Why are you not paying me the money? I'm not asking for 15 million a year. I'm not asking to be the highest earner of the squad. I'm just asking a decent salary. And it's the same that Rudiger's saying at Chelsea.
Yeah.
He's just saying, I want to be up there with the highest earners because I'm the highest performer, which he is. It's the same like at Araujo at Barcelona. He's one of the highest performers. So look, I think all Barcelona need to do, and I'm not saying, it's that easy. You just give them money and move on, I'm not acting as if contract negotiations are just a thing of a piece of cake. There's millions of euros involved. But I think Barcelona can get closer to a figure of 5 or 6 million euros. And I honestly feel like Araujo would accept it, even though he's got offers of, I think, 8 and 10 or whatever. I imagine, anyway. That's not news. That's just, I imagine, from Chelsea and Man United, and probably PSG will come knocking as well.
Yeah.
I think if Barca offered Araujo 6 million euros, which is more than fair, it's quite low, actually, when you think about if we're extending until 2027. By the time he gets to that, he'll be deserving of far more than 6 million euros. So look, 6 million euros, 5 million, I'm sure he'd accept or be close to accepting it. And I think really Barcelona have got to do it. Regarding Gavi, I actually haven't seen any figures anywhere, but I think similar story. Again, I don't think Gavi will be asking for 10 million. Maybe he'll be asking for 3 or 4 or 4 or 5. I don't know, that sort of figure. Barca have got to pay. If Barca give Kessie a contract of 6 million euros in the summer and we've lost Araujo because we only offered him 3, I'll be really upset. I really would. And I think that's what Barcelona have got to start thinking.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. There's not anyone on that short list of summer transfers, Haaland excluded, but the one, Kessie, Christensen, Azpilicueta, Mazraoui, there's nobody on that list that I would want to bring in at the cost of Araujo or Gavi. It would just be such a misstep for Barcelona to not secure those two players. Araujo, for me, he's the Uruguayan Virgil van Dijk. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's decent on the ball. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he used to play as a forward, so he's comfortable pushing forward. I don't see how he's not a higher priority. I get Ansu and then Pedri, but how is Araujo not next? You know what I mean? That's the spine of our team. Forward, midfield, center back.
It is
for our future. So we got to lock that one up because I think center backs, are pretty hard to come by.
They are.
You know what I mean? If you look at the top clubs across Europe, everybody's like, we could use another center back.
Yeah.
We've got one for the present and the future. We got to secure that. I think like I said, huge misstep if we don't get that done earlier rather than later, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it has to be done. It has to be thought about. I'm not saying throw everything at him. I know there's negotiations to take place, and Barca are going to save money, but Barca have got to up the offer. They've simply got to.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Pablo, I'm going to get you out on this one.
Yep.
Haaland. Where's he going this summer?
Oh, Haaland. I honestly feel like I could talk about the Haaland situation all day. You know what? I talk about the Haaland situation so much to my mum. We go on about it and all the ins and outs of it and, where he's going to go and whatnot. Oh, look, okay. Let me start. I'm not rambling on for hours. I actually thought for a long time that Haaland was in a really good position to join Barcelona this summer. I think Haaland wants to go to Spain, Real Madrid or Barcelona. I think if he could, he would happily go to Real Madrid. But Real Madrid have always had the Kylian Mbappe obsession, is what I'd call it. Yeah. So if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, in my opinion, Haaland, Raiola, they cannot go on top of Mbappe. If Haaland wants to be the best player in the world, for me it would be like if Cristiano Ronaldo joined Barcelona in 2008 instead of joining Real Madrid. That's what it would be like. You cannot go on top of Messi there. And he's good that he didn't because he rivaled him, obviously. In my opinion, he didn't enough. I still think Messi was by far and away the best, but he rivaled him. And Haaland has to rival Mbappe. I see rumours of Haaland being close to Real Madrid. I think it's true in a way because Real Madrid are a good place to sign him. But if Mbappe goes to Real Madrid, for me, Haaland should in no way be going to Real Madrid. And the same goes for if Haaland goes to Real Madrid, Mbappe, I think he knows he can't then go to Real Madrid. So Real Madrid actually are in a really, really interesting situation. They want both, but I don't think they can have both. Man City are a club that are very well placed to get him, of course. Why wouldn't they be? They've got Pep Guardiola. They've got a very strong board. They've probably got the best team in Europe, actually. They're very well run. I mean, well run. They've got a lot of money from outside sources. Let's put it that way. They've got infinite amounts of cash that they can throw at Haaland and Raiola. I think they said this morning, whatever offer you get from Spain, we'll match it or go over it. So Haaland and Man City, it could happen. But like I said, I honestly think Haaland wants to be a great, and he wants to be remembered as one of the players that played for Barcelona or Real Madrid. So all of these kind of things, this will be my thought process throughout it, by the way, John. All of these things I thought led it quite nicely to Barcelona. He's guaranteed the star of the team. He's in a team full of young and exciting players. He's the spearhead of it, and he's playing for one of the biggest, if not the biggest club in the world, rivaling Kylian Mbappe at Real Madrid. It just feels right for Haaland to go to Barcelona. But Barcelona, it seems, aren't in the best place to get Haaland because of the financial situation. In fact, Real Madrid and Man City are far better placed. So, it's why my head is doing spirals with it. I actually don't have a clue what's going on now because I thought Barca were quite well placed. But the news we heard a few days ago is that, forget Barca, Real Madrid and Man City have got him. It's between them in the next few weeks and Haaland will decide. I think the day after, people said, no, Barca are still there. So, I don't know, man. Who knows? I think Barca are well placed with all the other factors, but it looks like Man City and Real Madrid, as we know, are in a far stronger financial situation.
Yeah. I'm concerned that we're just not going to get our finances in order in time. That's the biggest thing. I think there was, like a month or two ago, rumors came out that Mbappe had signed for Madrid. I remember all the tweets were coming out, but then it cooled off, nothing official.
Yeah.
I'm worried that Mbappe is going to stay at PSG, that Haaland's going to go to Madrid, and that we're going to be left without a number 9. Now, here's the thing. If that's how it shakes out, if Mbappe stays, Haaland goes to Madrid, and we bring in Christensen, maybe Kessié, we renew the contracts.
Yeah.
I still think Barcelona has a brighter future. With Madrid just signing Haaland and nobody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have Vinny Jr., they got Camavinga, but they haven't turned the page like Barcelona did. Not saying that they couldn't in the same way that we did, but they don't have a Xavi. They don't have a Alemany, making those deals. So I think even if worst case scenario that happens, I still think Barcelona have a bright future. The one thing that concerns me is the year when Real Madrid signed Ronaldo and Kaká. Yeah. But if you look back at how that played out, that was really the end of Kaká's career.
Yeah, well, so exactly.
I'm hoping that Haaland and Mbappe look back to that scenario and what can turn out poorly when you have too much star power joining a team, and hopefully they stay separate. I love the storyline of Mbappe to Madrid, Haaland to Barcelona. Fingers crossed it happens.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to get our finances in order. I think we're going to miss the boat on that one just barely.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think you're right about if Haaland goes on top of Mbappe, or if Mbappe goes on top of Haaland. I really wonder what I've been thinking over the last 12 months, because I've convinced myself that they're not that stupid. They cannot be. The agents, the players, they've already kind of made that sort of mini rivalry between each other. I remember last season they're trying to outscore each other in the Champions League and stuff. I don't think it will be such a Messi or Ronaldo, but it can be that sort of thing, that Haaland and Mbappe. And like you said, the storyline at Barca and Real, it does work. But I think you're right. I don't think Barca are going to sort out their finances in time. And I don't know. I really wonder which way this is going to go. I really do. So that'll be really interesting. I think you're right, though, about Barcelona as a team. This would be the only positive for me about not getting Erling Haaland. The worry about getting Haaland, it would be that all of a sudden Barcelona kind of stop playing the liquid football, and it's kind of like we've got this monster at the number 9 spot who we know feed in the ball, get the ball to Erling Haaland. He's got to score, and he's then got to adapt to our play. And we can't forget that a lot of the time for Barcelona will be attacking 2 lines of 4, and Haaland quite likes spaces to run in behind. So, look, if Barca signed Haaland, I wouldn't be, questioning it. I think it could and maybe would be an amazing signing that really, marks an era for Barcelona. But the only thing is, sometimes, when a bad thing happens, you can try and look at the good and what Barca can make out of it. And I think what it would allow is to say, okay, you know what? Let's not go for a Galactico. Let's not go for a big star. Let's just mould the team. And Barca have got enough striking options. Varane can play number 9. Ansu can play number 9. You've got Aubameyang, of course, Memphis Depay, if Luke de Jong stays, and kind of do what Luis Enrique has at Spain, where there's not one star, but it's just a team that all works together. And I'll even use the Chelsea example for that. So Chelsea, last season when they won the Champions League, didn't really have the star, and everyone was saying, you've got to sign a striker, you can't goddamn score. And it's true. And that's why I said, please, can we bring Lukaku in? Because we created so many chances, we played as such a team, we couldn't score. Well, we've brought Lukaku in, and look what's happened, man. He's disrupting the squad, and it's a bit better now, but he's disrupting the squad. He's earning a lot of money. People are trying to play for him. He's not working. He's not adapting. And now what we do is we bench him in big games and say, we actually preferred playing with a false 9. And maybe Barca will have that realization. I'm not saying they will. Haaland could come in and just score 40 goals, and that's that. But I'm saying if it doesn't happen, then Barca have a chance to look elsewhere.
Yeah, I hear you on that. It's not a guarantee, wherever Haaland goes. Even at Barcelona, think about when we got Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
Not world-class player, top 3 at the time, but didn't quite fit in. Turned out Barcelona needed a David Villa instead of a Zlatan Ibrahimovic. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
If we don't get Haaland, there'll be a little bit of we didn't want him anyway. Nah, when we're down, blah, blah. There'll be a little bit of that, but we'll get through it either way. So looking forward to that saga unfolding. We'll definitely get you back on the show to talk about it more.
Yes.
Pablo, I appreciate you spending some time with me this morning, man. What do you have going on in the future? What are you working on? Where can people find you?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm trying to start up some things again, John. I'm sure we'll speak about that, probably off camera and whatnot. But yeah, I'm trying to start some things. All I could say to the guys listening is on Twitter for now is what I'm doing, Pablo WB Official. And then I'm going to try and start some other things here and there. I don't know about Twitch, or start writing articles here and there, or live somewhere. I'm not so sure, but I'm just planning out right now, and I'm trying to use the rest of the season to do that maybe. So yeah, I've got some ideas. I'm not sure about, channel or one place entirely, but for now, follow me on Twitter, and then you should be able to see everything from there. And if you want to, but yeah, I'm trying to map some things out. So I'm sure we'll speak a bit more about that in the future as well. But yeah, thank you for having me on again. It's always a pleasure. Always great to speak about Barca with you, and yeah, to everyone watching, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and keep subscribing to John, because he does great stuff, and you got a great community here.
Right on, Pablo. We appreciate you. Again, love having you on. We're going to have plenty more conversations. We'll definitely talk offline. Glad to have met you, buddy. And we'll talk soon. I'll get you out of here. I'm going to wrap up this show. Yeah, we'll talk soon, Pablo.
Yeah, see you, man. All the best.
Right. See ya. Okay, folks, there it is. A nice long conversation with our buddy Pablo Woolls-Blanco. Again, scholar and a gentleman. Love that guy. Happy to have met him. Let me catch up on the chat real quick. Vipula, hello, you stupid. Hello, Ayush, appreciate you keeping the chat going with the commands and everything. I was trying to keep an eye on if any questions came in. I saw some questions about Haaland, about predictions. So next time I'll do a little bit of a better job of planning, and I'll get some of those questions coming in early. But what do you think, folks? Good show? enjoy it. We got a little match preview with Galatasaray traveling to Barcelona. My good friend Pablo giving his thoughts on a starting 11, on the January signings, on Dembélé, on Christensen. Had a pretty good conversation. Mohamed seems a little bit worried about Christensen. Doesn't know if he's a player we need. Fair. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It looks like he is definitely coming. We shall see. Vipula says sell Memphis in the summer. I would say cool our jets. Let's see what happens with Dembélé. Let's see what happens with Adama. Because if both of them end up not staying, right? If Dembélé leaves because of contract ending, if we don't sign Adama, all of a sudden we don't have as many attacking options. Ferran would have to go right. We would have Ansu left to play that left wing. And we need more than that. So who knows? Lots to talk about. Lots more to come here on the channel. I'm going to hop off. I'm going to get my day going. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I appreciate you starting your day with me here on the Undefeated channel talking about Barcelona news. I will see you all again tomorrow for the live watch along. We're going to be going live 30 minutes before kickoff. So that's going to be 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Convert that for your time zone. We got people watching from all over the world. Yeah, that's going to be it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn on those notifications so you know when we're live. And I will see you next time, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and taking a ride. Mwah.